why did Facebook streaming delete? I'm not going to do that now. We'll just leave it at. Um, okay. All right. Hi, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you can hear us. And you can see us. If you can hear us, see us, please say something in the comments. Say hi. Tell us where you're joining from. And we will get started. All right. My name is Florence Akpan, and I have here with me Hailey and Omaima. We are from InfoPlace, and this is a bi-weekly, I think it's bi-weekly now, a bi-weekly Q&A session is a bi-weekly information session for those who have questions and are looking to immigrate to Canada. So, or are already in Canada and are trying to transition through various statuses. So if you're a temporary foreign worker, and international students, these sessions are the opportunity for you to ask those burning questions that you may have, those ones you sent to us in our DMs. We may be able to answer some here, and some of it might require more of a one-on-one sit-down conversation with our team. But today we're here to talk about what's happening in immigration, what you need to know, how you can position yourself as well to succeed, despite all of the various immigration changes that are going on. So I'm going to pass it on to my team to introduce themselves. Hailey, over to you.
Hi, everyone. Very nice to be here with you all today. My name is Hailey Nguye, and I am an immigration consultant. And I am a team member of InfoPlace Canada. My experience vary across from assisting clients with temporary residence applications, for example, work permit, study permit, visitor visa, to permanent residence, including economic immigration, spousal, family sponsorships, spousal sponsorships. Yes, so I'm very glad to be here with you today, and hope that I will be able to answer as many questions from you as possible. Thank you.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you, Hailey. Omaima, over to you.
Hello, people. I hope you're all doing well. Some of you might have seen me before. Some of you might be a new face. For those who don't know me, that I'm Omaima. I'm an immigration consultant here at InfoPlace. We would love to answer your questions today. Any concerns, questions, queries, we're all here to help. Do not hesitate to throw in your questions anytime, and we'll be happy to help. We look forward to it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Omaima. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we're going to get right into it. There's lots that we're going to talk about as people are coming in. If you can hear us, let us say hi in the comments and let us know where you're joining from. And if you've not been a part of this before, it gets really busy. So if you actually have questions around immigration that you would like us to answer, start putting them in the comment section. Because once we finish our initial overview here, we will get into it. So a lot has been happening. There have been 2 draws this week, the PNP draw and the Canadian Experience Class draw. It's been good to see that Canada is holding still with those Canadian Experience Class draws, and we're seeing those points, the cutoff continue to drop. So that's very exciting. There was also in February, there was the healthcare draw and all of that happened as well. French draws, all of those are holding still in terms of what IRCC's priority is. We also saw the senior managers for the first time as well happening. So a lot of things are going on when it comes to express entry. And we also have the provincial draws that are happening as well. Newfoundland had this draw. New Brunswick had draws. We had one of our clients through the New Brunswick program receive a nomination. This particular one actually received a nomination while her PNP was still pending. So that just goes to show you sometimes that if you strategically position yourself, you might find yourself moving through the system and getting through to that permanent residence a lot faster than others, or than people may even imagine as well. So it's very exciting. Lots of things that are going on and happening in that front. one of the key things, if you're listening and you did receive, if you're listening and you did receive an ITA in the healthcare draw, IRCC came back and made some changes and said there were errors, that they invited people who had less than 12 months work experience. So if you did not have up to 12 months work experience in that draw, you should not submit your ITA, basically. So that's something to know if you were in that category as well. So just hold on and keep looking into decline that ITA, of course, if you don't meet the requirements. That's the first thing. And then wait for the next draw that may come as well. So they've been all of those changes. And one of the major changes when they introduced the category for 2026 was that they basically said all of the work experience is 1 year. Prior to now, it was 6 months of work experience and you were in, but now it's 1 year. So if you don't have that 1 year, you may not qualify under that category. So pay close attention to that when you're receiving your ITA as well. Now, when we talk about PR, there's also been other things that we're noticing, shifts in how IRCC is doing things. And I'm going to let the girls just touch on some of those before we go into answering questions. I can see there's a question already in the comment there for Lucy. So please continue to leave your questions in the comments, as once we finish this overview, then we'll be able to talk about that as well. I think as we're here, there's also been a French draw, I believe. Omaima, is that what you're saying, that there's a new draw for today? As well. French proficiency has happened, 4,000 people, 393. So if you're looking to immigrate, French remains one of the sweet pathway that you would want to take and want to consider as well. So Omaima, Hailey, so let's talk about some of the things you're noticing with permanent residents so far, like key common errors that are leading people not to either get a PR refused or something. What are you seeing? Hailey, touch on one point and Omaima another one, and then we'll keep it moving.
Okay, so I think thank you, Florence. So I think the trend recently, let's talk about the trend recently beginning from January of this year. I think that first of all, like as Florence said, there has been a draw every week. So every Monday and to Wednesday, you expect a new draw, and has been consistent draws for a CEC and French proficiency category as well. And you can see that for CEC, the score around just over 500. So like yesterday was 507. Last week was 508. 2 weeks ago was 509. So it was going down a bit, like by 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
But it was around like just over 500. But like for French language proficiency, you can see that the CIS score is even below 400. So today it's just a new draw. Just a few minutes ago, it was the cutoff score was 393. So if you have been taking French, or your native language is French, and so this is the category for you. For those who have Canadian experience, then I think that because like based on my experience with my clients during the consultations, many clients they are waiting to accumulate 1 year of work experience to qualify for CEC. So please monitor your express fee profile, make sure that all the information is correct, and waiting until you accumulate 1 year, because many people, after they accumulate 1 year or reach 2 years, their CS score be around like over 505 to 510 so my advice is right now, if you have qualified for CEC or about to qualify for CEC, make sure that your profile is up to date, all the information is up to date. And if you need any professional help with reviewing the profile, we're more than happy to help, because you don't want to miss the draw. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Thank you very much, Hailey. Omaima, over to you. So welcome to those who are joining us. You can see the numbers going up here. If you're just joining, this is an info session, it's Q&A. What we're doing here is just overview of what has been happening in immigration, just a little bit of a touch point, what we're seeing, how you can position and prepare yourself to apply through various immigration pathways. We're talking about, Omaima is just going to talk about some common errors and things that we're noticing, especially with PR application, when clients are coming to us with PR refusals and things like that, what you should pay attention to. While we're having this conversation, listen in, but also leave your questions in the comment section, because once we're done, we're going to come in and we're going to start from the top to answer each question as much as we can. So this is your time before a lot of people get in to get your question in so that it can get answered while you're here with us today. Omaima, over to you.
Thank you, Florence. Okay, so a lot of people are getting ITAs. A very common error that that people don't know about is knock code. Very common one, yet a lot of people don't know. So if you are getting a job, if you're getting a targeted based JAWS or any ECC or JAW, and you're not using the right knock code, your duties on the reference letter do not correspond with the knock codes, then that could lead to a potential refusal. For the refusal consoles that we see or the refusals that we're saying, um, people either forget to upload the reference letter which consists of the duties, or they're using the right and wrong knock code. That's a main error in a profile. You have even if it's not a targeted draw, you still have to choose the right knock code, right? So that's one of the few important things that you need to look out into your PR application, right? Um, so if you need assistance with that, you can always get back to us and we can definitely help you with that. But please make sure that you use the right knock code for all your applications, and it should be corresponding with your previous knock codes as well. Like, for example, if you created an express entry profile, don't keep changing your knock codes because IRCC does have that information. All the profiles that you submit to IRCC, they have that information already in the back end. It's not that you just submit and they don't have access to it. No, they always have access to it, and they can come back and they ask, why is there a discrepancy going on? So if you remember, Florence, we had a case in the house. So that was a query that came to us. The client kept changing her knock codes. So IRCC came back and gave her a PFL asking as to why were you changing your knock codes for the same duration of your employment. So few things that really doesn't matter when you look into it, but if you go down into details, that can cause you a full PR application.
Yeah.
So make sure that you don't do these mistakes.
Perfect.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you very much, Omaima. Thank you. Thank you. So as we're going to get right into answering questions now, and as we go through questions, I'm sure we'll talk about other things that we're seeing and hearing about with ITAs as well. So I hope everyone can hear us from where you're joining from. So we're going to start with Lucy here. I'm going to put the question on screen. We'll read that and then we will answer. So Lucy said, I'm joining from the UK. Thank you for joining us from the UK. Lucy, I'm a quality science teacher that wished to relocate to Canada through PR. Qualified. Okay, she clarified and said qualified. Okay, good. So you're a qualified teacher that would like to immigrate. So there is actually a category right now for educators, for teachers to explore the option of immigrating to Canada. Of course, you would have to qualify through the Federal Skilled Worker Program itself, and then your 1 year work experience teaching in one of the knock codes in education could potentially qualify you. So it sounds like you may qualify under that education category, but there are other requirements that you need to think about. And we have a specific type of consultation, PR outside Canada, that you can book on our website. This would help the consultants to go through, calculate your points, advise you on what your language test score should look like, review your experience as well to see if it fits into one of those education knock code. But just from high level, what you're saying, it potentially could. They'll review all of that and map out what the strategy and what the plans would be for you to be able to potentially receive an ITA and come to Canada. There's not been any education draw yet this year It's going to happen. So if you're already a teacher in the UK, you might want to position yourself to benefit from the next draw that actually happens as well. All right, perfect. Thank you. I hope that answers your question, Jessica. Oh, sorry, Lucy. The next question is Jessica. So, Hailey, this is for you. I came to Canada on a study permit, but I have not been able to enroll due to health issues. I qualified for Federal Skilled Worker Program under the Express Entry after your team helped me review my profile. But the problem is I plan to go back to school in the fall of 2026 on a new study permit, which I'm yet to apply for. Can I join the pool and play the waiting game before study permit in the fall?
Thank you, Jessica, for your question. So first to answer your question, can you join the pool? Anyone can join the pool. You can join the pool from outside Canada. You can join the pool from inside Canada. Anyone can join the pool as long as you qualify. So you said that, our team helped you determine that you qualify for the federal skilled workers. Yes, then once you qualify, you can create your profile and you are in the pool. If you receive, the thing is, if you receive an invitation to apply for permanent residence, let's say because your CIS score is meets or higher than the cutoff score for the draw, and you received an ITA, then you can apply for permanent residence. And if you apply for permanent residence from inside Canada, then you need to have a legal status in Canada. So what is a legal status in Canada? If your permit is still valid, or if it's about to expire, you apply to maintain your status. Okay, so that is the core requirement if you apply for permanent residence from inside Canada. So right now, if you want to join the pool, you can join the pool from anywhere in the world.
Yeah. So Jessica, the only thing with your, thank you very much, Hailey, for that, because yes, you can join the pool from anywhere. But one thing with the information you've given me, there's a little bit of gray areas here, because what is your current status? If you came to Canada as a student and you've not enrolled, it is possible that you currently don't have status in Canada anymore, because if you have been out of school for more than 150 days, you may not have any active status right now. You could be out of status, and you need to work yourself back into being in status, because if you're not in status, yes, you can be in the Express Entry profile and all of that, but should you receive an ITA, you are inadmissible to Canada. So it would impact your PR application if you were to apply out of status. Even talking about you starting school in the fall, there's an aspect that you need to look at to say, have I been out of school for more than 150 days? Do I need a study permit extension? What are the things that I need to do? So I think a more one-on-one conversation may be required. I would say definitely reach out to the team to book a one-on-one consultation so that we look at your timelines and be able to advise you properly into what you can do, because just getting into the Express Entry pool does not mean that you will get PR. Getting into the Express Entry pool is just expressing yourself, but what does your chances look like to be able to transition from temporary resident to permanent resident? That's what a full assessment would be able to do for you. All right. So I would say have that conversation. Yes, you can be in the pool and all of that, but your status in Canada matters so much towards your overall success with your immigration application. All right. Okay. We'll go to the next person here. So if you're just joining us, it is our info session. It's Q&A. It is your time. We don't have anything planned or scheduled. We put this up every bi-weekly just to answer questions, because there's always a lot of people in our DMs, in our emails that have short burning questions. They need direction. And we do this just to help and put out some information there as well. And also talk about things that are happening in immigration. We're very busy, but we always carve out this 1 hour to do that for our community as well. So we're taking questions. So if you're joining, just leave your questions in the comments. We will be taking as many as we can in the next hour here. So Ola has a question for you, Omaima. When do you think someone should start reaching out to IRCC if their FSW application is taking 6 months and the tracker says it's complete?
So if the tracker says it's complete, you can raise a web form to IRCC asking about the update, right? So there's a separate one, check your application status, so that you can let them know that your processing time is completed and you haven't heard of it. An extra tip, you can also apply for the GCMS notes and see what's going on with your application. That will give you an insight on what's going on your application, because a lot of times there are concerns in the application that can be seen in the GCMS notes. So
Excellent.
you can know what's going on, and see the officer's notes in there as well. And let
Okay.
us know if you need help with that. We can also help you with that as well.
Awesome. Thank you. And the GCMS notice is whenever your application is past processing time, or if the tracker is saying it's complete, you're probably on your way to a decision. But if you feel uneasy, you can reach out to them. You can also call as well, just like Omaima said. The GCMS notes, if it's pending and it's not even showing complete, will give you lots of insight as to if there's any pending issues and all of that. But sometimes give it time, it's going to come through. It seems like you're almost at the end. Okay. Eric 3095 has a question here. After obtaining PR, how long can I take to sponsor my wife to join me in Canada? Is nursing really in demand in Saskatchewan? Miss Florence, I see that question is directed to me. Is IRCC using IRCC AI to detect fake documents? Lots of question in one. After obtaining, so if you he said, after obtaining PR, how long can I take to sponsor my wife to join me? My question there for you is, were you married before you obtained PR? Did you disclose that you were married, or did you get married after PR? Because the treatment of that and what you do with that is very different. So when did that happen? What's going on there? Now, if it's after you got PR, you just got PR today, you got married tomorrow, please go ahead and sponsor your spouse. Contact us. We'll be happy to work on that spousal sponsorship for you. We would have to really show IRCC that one is genuine marriage and it wasn't marriage, that you guys were already married, of course, before the PR application was done. In terms of nursing really in demand, I would say healthcare is in demand across the country. There is no place that is not looking for healthcare workers. Saskatchewan and across the country, they are looking for people. I don't have any recent statistics or numbers as to efforts that they're doing to get nurses in, but I know that as a general thing right now, everyone is looking for healthcare workers because there is shortage. When it comes to AI and what IRCC is using it for, I cannot speak to that directly, aside from what IRCC has published that they would AI would be involved in certain parts of triaging applications and things like that. But there is no limit to what IRCC can do with AI. And as you can see, AI is evolving every day. So the key to anyone and the information is always ensure your applications are authentic. They don't have any fake documents in them and all of that, because the last thing you want is a ban from IRCC. So as much as possible, you want to keep your information straight with IRCC because they are improving every day, just like everyone is looking at for ways to be efficient in how they're offering services. So IRCC is going to use it for as much as they can probably use it for legally as well. Okay. Hailey, this is for you. Naomi said, for someone who is in the pool with a 321 score and also looking to come to Canada via the study route in the fall while preparing to take the French exam next year to boost your score, what would your advice be, please?
Thank you, Naomi, for the questions. I think so. Okay, so first of all, your score 321, you already know that it's not competitive enough, right? And you are working. It's great that you have your plan to improve your score. And I think first of all, you would like to study in Canada. So studying in Canada will award you points. Okay, if your program is at least one year of like at least 1 year of post-secondary education in Canada. Okay, so it will give you CIS points. And learning French, we're preparing to take the French exam next year. I don't know about like how good you are with French, but if you're confident enough, and you should know about the aim when you take French. So we just talk about the French proficiency category, and to qualify for the French proficiency category, you must have level 7. Let's see, B7 in all 4 bands: listening, speaking, reading, and writing, to qualify for the category. So when you take the French exam, make sure that you know how much you should get. What's the target score? because you don't want to have a CLB7 in 3 bands and then CLB6 in 1 band, then you will not qualify. So make sure you know the target, and if you can meet that, yes, you can qualify for the French category. And after you take CLB7, I'm sure your CS score will increase. And then you will qualify for the French category, because as I just said, the latest draw, the CS score is only 393. So you're not too far away. So I think I would say that your plan is great. Okay. So if you want to come to Canada to study, great. It will prepare you for life in Canada, and also award you points, and also taking French and aim at least CLB7 to qualify for the French category. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Hailey, for that. The one thing that I would add, and a lot of times when I've seen people ask this question, is probably because they are wondering, can they pursue both at once? We have worked with clients. I have worked with clients that have active express entry profiles in, and they're applying to study in Canada. I have worked with clients that have PR applications in and still apply to study in Canada. With Canadian immigration, dual intent is allowed. However, in your application, you have to be very clear in addressing those as well. So there shouldn't be any problem. Just like Hailey said, you are really positioning yourself for success by preparing and writing that French exams. All is just going to work together to make it easy for you and open up lots of opportunities for you to transition to permanent residence as well. All right. Perfect. Let's go to the next question here. This is a long one. Amaka has a long question here for us. Omaima, this will be for you. I recently started a tier 2 job and working towards 1 year Canadian experience for my CEC. My current score without the experience is 505. That's excellent for CEC, and it will increase when I meet 1 year by next year. This is my only plan for PR. I'm worried that IRCC might make changes to CEC that affect me before next year. What do you think? Also, can I apply for OINP because my employer is an American company that pays me through ADP Canada and deducts all necessary taxes? Maima.
Thank you, Florence. I just have, while you're reading through it, is your employer a Canadian employer or a US employer? And would that lead you to a 1 year Canadian work experience through the US employer? So that's a little bit of question that I would ask in this. If it's a Canadian employer, you're waiting for your CEC draw. Then what you could also do is we do have more options in terms of RCIB. You can look into that program, Rural Community Immigration Pilot Program. That's a really good program. If you might be able to get a job offer and you meet all the other requirements, then you can look into that program. Also, if you obviously if it's an US employer, you cannot apply for the OINP, but then obviously you can look into other provinces as well, looking at the requirements, looking at the job offer. If you're able to get a job offer from any other employer in another province, then you can look into those PNP options as well. So for that, you will need to see if your occupation, what's your occupation, which province is looking for that specific occupation. If you, let's say, have a job offer at your back end with like a specific province, what are the requirements for those? So that will be like a detailed plan for you that has to be discussed like in a consult.
Yeah.
But overall, you can look into PNP provinces and you can look into other federal programs like Atlantic or rural community.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, definitely what what Omaima has said there. And I think, your score is great already. 505 is a pretty decent score. It's just that if you're not in one of the categories, it might not be too much to your favor. That 1 year Canadian experience could be crucial for you to qualify on that Canadian experience class. So it's good to look at, and what you're doing is excellent because you can see that the programs are changing so quickly. So one of the things that I always tell people is don't have one plan. This is not the time to have one pathway to get me to PR. This is the time where you have to have multiple pathways, part A, B, C, D. Just like Omaima said, within your range, within your qualification, that could potentially get you to PR as well. All right, perfect. We're still going on. If you're just joining, leave your questions in the chat. We're taking questions. We are here to answer your questions today. All right, so Ome has a question here. My PGWP expired in September 2025. I got an ITA in February. So September 2025, we're going to count 90 days. So if 90 days has passed, you cannot restore. So you're outside restoration to work permit or anything like that. So you got your IT in February. So we're definitely outside the 90 days. And you got your acknowledgement of receipt last week. I'm currently on visitor's record. I want to know if I can apply. Unfortunately, you will not be eligible to apply for a bridging open work permit, because for you to apply for a bridging open work permit, you either have to be holding a work permit or be eligible to restore to a work permit. So if you got this ITA, like say in October, you would have done a restoration and then apply for your bridging open work permit. But now that timeline is kind of out for you. So I'm hoping and praying that IRCC comes through with your PR on time so that you can get back into working and all of that. But the good thing is that you have valid status in Canada, which is so crucial for the success of your application. All right. Thank you. Jessica said, how can I book a consultation, please? So we'll just share the link in the chat there for consultation to our website so that you can book that. It will be shared with you as well. All right. So Tinuke has a question here. Good day, please. I want to ask if I can apply for early childhood education assistance with a WIEC with RCIP employer and 1 year of experience outside of Canada. With the RCIP program, you have to have 1 year of work experience in the field that you are looking to apply to work in. So it seems like you have the work experience, so that's great. Now, the education requirements would now depend on the employer that is looking to hire you. So I'm not sure what you mean with education assistance with WIEC or something, but what are the education credentials that would be required for you to be an early childhood educator? You would at least have to have that to apply. So it would be looking at in the communities with the employers, see what the requirements from them is for you to apply, and then that's what you use for your application process. You want to meet all of the requirements in order for you to be successful with the application, even after you have gotten the job offer, because that's crucial to the success of your application. So you'll have to have your educational credential educational credential assessment done for your foreign education. That's very important. And then at least 1 year, 1560 hours of work experience is what you would need for the RCIP job. All right. Nana has a question here about OIMP. So we said we're going to talk about the OIMP changes. OIMP just dropped that there's going to be a complete revamp of the OIMP program by May 30th. We have an article on our website that talks about the details of these changes, what categories are impacted, and all of that. So I'll get my team will probably share that link in the chat here with you. So you can pick that up, or just go on our website www.infoplacecanada.ca/newshub, and you will find the details about it. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if there's going to be, if they're going to keep conducting draws at this time with these pending changes. I would probably anticipate that there may be no further draws, but I could be wrong. They may want to hold off any draws to really clean up the system and make all the changes. If they continue doing any draws, it would be because that sector, that category is what they will continue to work on and keep. But when you look at what the changes that are coming, I would foresee that there will be a pause on what they are doing. All right. So let's share. Let's put that. Let's wait and see what will happen. This has just come out in the act. We're going to see what the implementation will look like, and we'll continue to share on that as we get more information as well. Okay. Oluwatayo has a question here. Hello, I am a practicing doctor in Nigeria for 5 years. So Hailey, this will be for you. Currently working in the public health space as a medical officer. A licensed doctor practicing for 5 years now. Okay, no specialty yet. Am I eligible? How do I apply for my PR application? Hailey?
Okay. Hi, Oluwa Tayo. Thank you for your questions. So you are a licensed doctor in Nigeria with 5 years of work experience. It looks like you're currently working, right? So you might be eligible for, so under Express Entry had the three streams, right? Federal skilled workers, Canadian experience class, and federal skilled trades. If you But under each streams, they have a category. So they have a 10 categories, and one of the categories is healthcare. Okay, so as long as you qualify for one of the three main streams and you meet the requirement of each of the category, then you qualify for the category. So look, to determine. So you said that you are a doctor in Nigeria. So a doctor is under
The healthcare category.
the healthcare categories. Okay, and the requirement for healthcare categories is within the past 3 years, you must have at least 12 months of full-time work experience, and you said you have a 5 years, so you might qualify for the healthcare category. Okay, so to determine, you need so, like I said, you need to be first qualify for one of the mainstreams. And looks like you in Nigeria, so you should be should qualify for the federal skilled workers stream. And to determine whether you eligible to apply for federal skilled workers, you must score 67 points in selection factor under the federal skilled workers. So if you would like more information, would like us to help with your profile and to calculate your selection factor score to determine if you qualify for the federal skilled workers, we'll be more than happy to do that. But like first step, you should know if you qualify for the federal skilled workers, and then to see if you qualify for the healthcare category. So on the screen, you can see that Florence just shared with you the healthcare category, how to qualify for that.
Yeah. Perfect. So if we look at, so I think she's what Tyra was saying there was, I don't have any specialty, right? But if you look at the healthcare category here, just to see what, and this is on the IRCC website as well. So I'm just showing you right from there. The doctors that are included on the list here as well. Where is it? Yeah, right here. Let's see.
It's on the top, general practitioners. There we go. Just like 31102. There we go.
So general practitioners. So when you say you don't have any specialty, you probably fall under a general practitioner. And as a general practitioner, you would fall under 31102 NOC code. As Hailey said, that assessment for your 67 point will be crucial to determine if you are able to qualify under this pathway. But with the little information you've told us, it seems like you check off the work experience aspect of it because you have more than 1 year. So it would be excellent for you to position yourself here. Honestly, it's even beyond Express Entry as well for you. There are provinces that are looking for healthcare workers, the rural communities as well. There's a lot more that you can look at and lay out pathways and strategies for you and your families to potentially immigrate to permanent residence, because you're definitely working in a sector that is in high demand in Canada. There are steps, of course, that you would have to take, but notwithstanding, Canada is looking for doctors. There are many pathways that you can use to come to Canada, and Express Entry is just one of those pathways as well. All right. So I hope that answers your question there. Perfect. Let's go on to the next person. I think we're tired. Scroll through. So welcome to everyone who is just joining as well. If you're just joining us, we're just answering questions that you would have as well. I think Oluwatari had a follow-up one that says, which province would you recommend? There are various provinces that have various pathways. One thing with provinces right now is a lot of them are focusing on people that have work experience in the province, like job offers in the province. So except they're having recruitment missions where you are able to secure a job in those communities based on your healthcare credentials, exams, and things you've taken, you might want to look at just seeing how you can get in through the Express Entry pathway itself, which doesn't require a job offer in Canada for you right now to start. Okay. All right. Omaima, this is for you. Acha has this question. Good evening. I currently work as a special needs teacher in a school, but also recently got my QBAT certificate. I want to go through PR. So I think before we even do that, I'd like to still, let me share screen again and let's look at, because we have a couple of teachers that are asking questions here. And I would like to just show what the category base for teachers are. So then we just have people who are teachers have an idea. Under education, if you're in education, there are actually 5 NOC codes. So you would either fall under an elementary and secondary school teacher, instructor for persons with disability, early childhood educator, assistants, elementary school teachers, and secondary school teachers. So if you fall under any of this, the NOC codes are there. We can review your work experience to ensure it's aligned with those NOC code. If it is, then you potentially have a pathway through express entry here. Like I said, the health draw has not happened this year. The education draw has not happened yet this year. So there may still be that opportunity for you. If you're a health a teacher that qualifies under one of this NOC, you have to get your ECA done, your language test done, position yourself for the highest score to see how you can receive an invitation there. And similarly, just like I said, for TIRE, there may be opportunities in other immigration pathways like the Rural Community Immigration Pilot Program, the AIPs, and all of those, and provincials that may also be available to you as well. So I think, Omaima, I answered the question for you in doing that. So we'll go to the next question. So Asha, that's basically it for you. If you have any follow-up questions, just let us know. Or most importantly, book a one-on-one consult. I think we've shared that there, the link there with you as well. Book a one-on-one consultation that would be helpful for you to really determine if you do have an opportunity. A lot of times people hesitate to doing that, but it's so important because you could be sitting on a gold mine. You could be sitting on an opportunity that may not always be there tomorrow. The education category may be done after this year. Canada may meet the quota of what they're looking for and is no longer there. So while it's there, and while the demand is there, they're looking actively for those people, and you have the experience, you want to position yourself to get that. So definitely book a consult, and we would look forward to helping you with that as well. Okay. Healthcare. Okay, so let's see here. How does one qualify for PNP? Omaima, I'm going to leave that for you. How does one qualify for PNP?
Okay, so good question. PNP, there are specific, so there are a lot of provinces in Canada. Each province has a lot of streams. Each stream has also substreams at times, and each one of them has a different criteria. So you would see there's so many branches. I can summarize this for you in this way. Majorly, there are 2 things that a province looks into. Either you have to have a job offer, or you're a student and you studied from their institution. And that's how you go about it. If, let's say, you have a job offer, for example, let me take Nova Scotia, just taking a rough example. You have to see if you have the job offer. That's one part. There are criteria as well that you have to meet. Hardly there would be any province that does not require. I remember OANP has one, a human capital, that doesn't require you to have a job offer. But most of them would require you to have a job offer from that province and meet the other criteria, and that's how you qualify for a PNP.
Yeah.
So I think
are very. Go ahead. Sorry, what did you say?
No, it's okay. I was just saying, so overall, that's the overview of how to qualify for a PNP program.
Yeah, PNPs are very tricky. They're very diverse, and a lot of them typically would require you to have a job offer or have some close ties to the province or studied in the province as well. So those are the types of things. But it's best for you to take it piece by piece based on where you want to go, to have that one-on-one session with our team, and then they have point system. They have a lot of different eligibility factors. Some look at 3 years of work experience, some look at 10, some look at 5. It's just different across the board. So you want to pick where you want to go. And sometimes what the consultants do in the PR consult is based on your profile, we'll be able to just pinpoint like, hey, this province is looking for people like you. This province wants this experience. Oh, you have family ties in this province. Maybe let's dive into that province and see what it can do for you. So those are the types of things that come out of a consultation session that just maps out that strategy for you. So you might want to do that if you're specifically looking at what province you should be looking into as well. So Tinuke has a question here. Please, will I need a bank statement for my 1 year experience to apply for work permit outside of Canada? Bank statements, work permit outside of Canada. So if you're applying for a work permit, I don't even know the type of work permit you're applying for. Funds are always important because IRCC wants to see that, one, you'll be able to transport yourself here, unless, of course, your employment offer that is leading to that work permit doesn't require that. It depends on the type of application you're doing, but the reasonability of the overall requirement is important. I'll give you an example. For example, if someone is applying for a spousal open work permit, a spousal open work permit means that you're probably coming to meet a spouse who is in Canada working or who is a student. You have to show IRCC that your spouse can take care of themselves and you'll be able to take care of yourself when you come, because when you arrive, you're not just going to land a job. So if you're not just going to land a job, how are you going to take care of yourself? Do you have enough money for flight tickets and all of that? So that reasonability has to go into your application that you're putting together for the visa officer. Now, if you've gotten a job offer and your employment is like salary on day one, we're giving you an advance, we're paying your flight, we're paying accommodation and all of that, maybe you don't really need to worry about putting any proof of funds. You just need to put all the documents that relate to that employment that you have. So it's going to be on a case-by-case basis and the specific type of work permit that you're applying for as well. All right, Blessing has a question for you, Hailey. I'll leave that to you. You can read it and answer.
Okay, so thank you, Blessing, for your questions. I think that I have received this question many times during my consultation. How can I improve my CIS score? And my advice, the first advice would be learn French, because you already have 382 points. Okay, and I just shared with you the latest draw for French proficiency category is 393. Okay, so you're very close. So, and like I said, to qualify for French proficiency category, you must have a minimum CLB 7 and level 7 in all 4 bands. So this is the target, okay? And once you achieve that, your score would be way higher than 382 and you qualify for French category. And like I said, you have to qualify for one of the 3 main streams under Express Entry as well. So my first advice would be learn French. Many people told me that, oh, I don't want to learn a new language at this age, but why not? It's not impossible. And if it's the only way for you to improve your CIS score, then I would go for that first. Okay. So what are the other ways? So you should look at your English score as well, because to have a maximum score in English language, you should have CLB 10 in all 4 bands, right? So if your English score right now is not maximum, like some skills are still below CLB 10, my advice would be improve English as well and retake the English exam as many times as possible to get the maximum point. Let me share with you my own story. I immigrated to Canada through federal ski workers. At that time, I was 32 years old, so I lost like 15 points of age, and I had master's degree. The first time I took English exam, I had one skill I got only CLB 7. So I'm like, okay, so I looked at it, how do I get to CLB 10? And I took another time and I got CLB 10 in all 4 bands. So I have a maximum points for English language. I have a master's degree and, well, there's nothing I can change. I'm not going to do a PhD, right? So that's maximum points I can have for education. So the only thing that you can change at that time was English. Okay, so my advice would be take English if it's not CLB 10. Okay. Yeah. The next advice would be look at your work experience. So the maximum points for foreign work experience is 3 years. Even if you work 10 years, you only get points for 3 years. Okay. So if you're currently working in your company outside Canada and you already have 2 years then continue doing what you're doing, gain 1 more year of foreign work experience to get maximum points for foreign work experience. Okay. If you are inside Canada, then continue to working. If you haven't accumulated 1 full year of Canadian work experience, then win 1 year. But look at here, you outside Canada. So yes, increase your work experience, foreign work experience, to get 3 years. Okay, if you haven't done it.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much, Hailey. So yeah, first off is looking at your profile. Look at, like Hailey said, look at the profile you have right now. Have you maximized all your points? Look at it and see if you can maximize. If you're outside Canada, I'm going to keep it simple. If you're not a part of one of the categories that IRCC has prioritized, your likelihood from outside of Canada to receive an ITA is very slim. That's it, because they are not doing federal skilled worker draws. The only draws that are happening is for the programs is Canadian Experience Class, which is for people inside Canada, and PNPs, which is for those, most of them with job offers or provincial nominations. So if you're not in one of the categories like healthcare, education, all the ones listed on the website, which we just looked at, your likelihood, even if you increase your score to 550, if you're not in one of those categories as federal skilled and you're outside Canada, your likelihood would be slim to receive an ITA. So you want to figure that out first and know what that option is. And then if that doesn't work, what Hailey said is excellent. One of the easiest way without you really coming into Canada is to learn that French. It can be challenging, but it doesn't just open opportunities for you to just get PR, but it opens up opportunities for you for even jobs in Canada. I was talking to one of my clients who he has now received his PR, but he said he's still learning French because in his company, he works in Canada as an engineer. And he said when he looked at how much more he would have made if he was bilingual, he's still learning French, even given the fact that he just got his ECO PR yesterday. So he's not stopping. So I want people to look at French not just as a means to get PR, but to act as one of the tools and the skills that you will need to really, really level up when you get to Canada as well. All right, so we're going to we're almost getting to the end of our time here, and because we have meetings right on the hour, we may not get to every single person's question. So if I've answered your question before, I'm going to skip you and try to answer someone whose question has not been answered at all today, just to get some diversity in here. But if we have follow-up questions, please do not hesitate. My team has shared the link there to book consultations. Book that consultation with our consultants. Let's map out your plan and answer even more questions that are really tailored to you as well. So Omaima, Oyinka Solad has a question here. I'll let you read that and let's answer that one.
Sure. My current score is 423 with 1 year of experience as a support worker and education assistant, but they do not do anything regarding PNP. I'm planning to writing my exam again. I moved and I have 2 jobs which are in 42201. They're both casual, but the job offer says I can work between 0 to 40 hours in this field. They're not fixed, and I'd like to know if it still counts for my hours when I clock 2 hours in May 2026. Okay, Sula.
Yes, in 2020, May.
2 years in May. Okay, so there is a follow-up. So the requirement is if you are working with 42201, very good. This is a job which qualifies under the healthcare and social services. So good thing you're qualified under that. With 2 hours of now, with regards to the experience, IRCC says that you must have 1560 hours in a year in order to qualify for that. Now, the minimum is 30 hours a week or 1560 hours a year. You will have to check through your pay slips and stuff. Were you doing 1560 hours a year to get yourself full-time? How IRCC looks into is the number of hours. So you'll have to see how many hours have you worked in a year. If you have worked for those hours, you already meet the requirement because you have more than 1 year of experience full-time. Now, you can also, to meet that requirement, you can also get 2 jobs. Like if you're working, as you said, you're working in 2 jobs, you can even combine the hours, and still, if you're able to make it to 1560, then you can definitely add that into your profile. And then once, hopefully, you get an ITA. But the only concern I have is your score of 423. The healthcare draws are usually happening around 460s to 470s. So if you can rewrite your English test and you can come to those scores, then that would be really beneficial for you. So I think that answers your question.
Mhm.
Even if not PNP, and you can work around with the express entry part, then I think you might be able to secure a good ITA for yourself.
Yeah. And I'm just going to throw in there for you as well, not just the express entry. You can also look, I don't know what community, what city it is that you have this job, looking at jobs in the rural community as well could also give you a non-competitive pathway to PR as well, because you also have work experience in those areas that are being prioritized in those communities as well. So definitely look into that. Generally, for anyone who is in Canada, even outside of Canada, we actually had one client, Omaima, one of our clients there, who is in the US, and she got a job offer in Canada in one of the rural communities. So RCIP is not something you want to slip on if you're looking to come to Canada. The employers are listed on some of the websites. The jobs that they're prioritizing are listed. The categories are listed, and they're even broader than the ones for express entry. So you definitely want to check them out, because that might be a gold mine for you. That might be the opportunity and the magic to get you to permanent residence as well. Okay, this will probably be our last question for today. I want to come to Canada through the study route and work part-time. Do you think I can survive only by having half of my tuition fees? In fact, the question should even be, will I get the study permit? Because IRCC is not nice right now. If you are looking to study in Canada, please have your money, if I pay your first year tuition fee, if you are the one sponsoring yourself and coming, then have the full money for the full duration of your study. It is a difficult task because the requirement is really high. You have to have that, because if not, they're not really nice. If you have a sponsor, you can have the amount that you need for your first year, and your sponsor can show what is required for the second year and all, but you need to have your money. And not just having your money right now, you have to be willing to explain your source. Your source has to make sense. IRCC could see 100 million in your account, and then you're just making 1 million a month or a year. IRCC needs to know where the connect is. How did that money come about? So a lot of times we find people start looking for the money to study in Canada when they have secured admission. It should be the reverse. Start looking for money while you're looking for admission, so that by the time you receive the admission, you have the money, you have kept it clear, you have determined the source. We're not running around and gathering money from everywhere and putting it in an account, because one of the things IRCC does not like is when a lot of funds just gets dropped into an account. So you want to take the time to do that, pull that information together on time. If you don't have enough money, it'll be very, very difficult for you to survive in Canada. It is very expensive. Being able to work and study is not going to do it. Part-time jobs, they wouldn't be high paying enough for you to cover your tuition fee and your living expense in Canada. So just ensure you have everything up front before you come. It'll make life a lot easier for you when you arrive as well. Okay? All right. Well, we've come to the end of our session today. I know there's a lot, and there's still more questions that we weren't able to answer. Like I said, we're always available. You can send an email to our team. We can also leave the contact us form as well. You can send in questions to our team. If it's quick and easy questions that doesn't require a sit-down conversation, we will be able to answer. But if it requires more questions from you, more information and assessment to be done to determine options, that's where a consultation will come into play. So definitely send an email to us, book a consultation. And if you've received an ITA and you're looking to do an application, we're always here to help you. We have very diverse experience in-house. not just express entry, we work with all the Canadian provinces as well, and we would be more than happy to represent and work with you through your application. So thank you everyone for joining. We will be live again in another 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks we do these info sessions. So put that on your calendar. Look out for the link in our bio on our Instagram page as well, and we'll have those events on our website too, so that you can register and come and get your questions answered. Final words, Omaima.
It was great having you all over. It was great having to answer all your questions. Although, it's just 1 hour, if you need personalized plans, we are here to help you through all your immigration journey. We have already given links in the comment section. You can book our consults there. We have great consultants in-house, and they will tailor your personalized plan for you for your immigration pathway. And I hope we were able to answer maximum of the questions, and we will see you in our next session. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye.
Thank you. Hailey?
Thank you, Florence. Thank you so much for your questions. I'm so glad to see so many people being interested in coming to Canada as an immigrant myself. I came here in 2020 under the Federal Skilled Workers. I understand the complexities of the immigration law, and I understand that sometimes it's ever changing. It keeps changing, and we have to keep up to date like every day. So in any time that you are not sure about something, if you need assistance with anything, we have a services about every single thing. We have a consultation. We have a ask if you just want to ask a very quick questions. We have a 20 minutes session for that. If you already have a Express Entry profile and you just want us to review, totally can do that. If you you don't know how to create the profile, we have the profile creation service as well. If you receive an ITA, you would like us to fully represent you, we have a full representation. But if you prepare everything by yourself and you just want us to look at it, we totally can do that. So we can have all kinds of services, and it tailored to your needs. So if anytime you need to speak with us, feel free to reach out. And thank you again for joining us. And I hope you have a good day, and see you soon.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for joining. I will see you in our next session, or maybe we'll welcome you to Canada. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one. Bye. Yeah.